In the world of data, sometimes a new force just appears. And when it does, titans rise to control it. This is the story of a foundational battle that really shaped the technology we use every day. Kafka versus Kinesis.
So think about it. For the longest time, data was kind of like water in a lake. You stored it in a database, you went to it when you needed it, and you got a static snapshot in time. But around the early 2010s, everything changed. Data from apps, from sensors, from user clicks, it stopped being a lake. It became a raging, nonstop river.
And yeah, this data river, it created a huge new problem. How do you manage a fire hose of real-time information that literally never stops? You couldn't just store it anymore. You had to process it, analyze it, and react to it as it was happening. The old tools just couldn't keep up. The world needed something completely new to harness this flow.
So into this chaos, two major contenders stepped up to the plate. They both promised to solve the same problem, taming that data river. But, and this is the key, they came from completely different worlds and offered fundamentally different visions for the future.
Okay, so first up we have Kafka. This thing was born inside LinkedIn to solve a massive, massive problem they were facing. How to handle the fire hose of activity data for millions of users. It was built by engineers for engineers, and in 2011, they gave it to the world as an open source project. Its whole identity was forged in community, collaboration, and the raw need to handle data at an incredible scale.
And then, just 2 years later, a challenger shows up on the scene. Kinesis, launched by the 800-pound gorilla of the cloud, Amazon Web Services. Now, this wasn't some community project born out of necessity. No, this was a polished, proprietary product. It was a fully managed service that you could basically just turn on with a credit card.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. Because this wasn't just a technical rivalry. The competition between Kafka and Kinesis was really a battle between two completely different philosophies about how technology should be built, how it should be controlled, and how we should consume it. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one hand, you've got Kafka, open source, driven by a community, and designed to give you maximum granular control over your infrastructure. And on the other hand, you've got Kinesis, proprietary, born in the cloud, and built for one thing above all else, maximum convenience. It promised to take all those operational headaches away. So, this big philosophical divide, it forced a really practical choice on every single company out there. Imagine you're a startup, right? Do you bet on the power and the flexibility that comes with total control, even though you know it's going to be more work? Or do you choose the speed and simplicity that comes with total convenience so you can get your product to market way faster?
And here are those trade-offs in black and white. With Kafka, yeah, you had to manage it all yourself. That's a high operational cost. But in return, you got a massive community ecosystem and the freedom to run it absolutely anywhere. With Kinesis, management was a breeze, but you were locked into the Amazon ecosystem. You were sacrificing flexibility for that ease of use.
It really all boiled down to this one classic tech dilemma. Do you build or do you rent? Do you invest the time and the resources to build and actually own your data backbone with Kafka, or do you just rent one from Amazon with Kinesis and start moving right away?
So, what happened? Who actually won this battle for the soul of data streaming? Well, the outcome, it wasn't a clean victory for one side or the other. Instead, this rivalry carved the data landscape into these two distinct territories, and both platforms found a way to absolutely thrive. And here's the result. There wasn't a single winner. It's like they created a split kingdom. Kafka became the undisputed de facto standard for anyone building with open source tech. Meanwhile, Kinesis became the dominant go-to choice for the millions of customers already living inside the AWS cloud.
So where do you see Kafka today? Well, it's flowing right through the heart of modern tech. It's powering mission-critical pipelines at companies like Uber for real-time trip data and Netflix for all those personalized recommendations. Backed by companies like Confluent and a massive, vibrant developer community, it really has become a foundational piece of modern data architecture.
And Kinesis, where does it flow? It became the easy, good enough choice for countless businesses already committed to AWS. Think of an e-commerce site using it to analyze customer clicks in real time, or a media company monitoring viewer engagement, all seamlessly integrated with their other Amazon services. For those companies, Kinesis was the simple, logical, no-brainer solution.
And that brings us all the way back to our main idea, doesn't it? This rivalry was never just about the technical details of moving data from point A to point B. It was a fight for a much deeper principle. Who gets to own and control the river of data that powers modern business?
And that leaves us with this one big thought, this provocative question. The choice between these two platforms mirrors a question that is still at the heart of technology decisions we make today. When it comes to your most valuable asset, your data, what matters more? The freedom to control your own destiny? Or the simplicity of letting someone else handle all the complexity for you?